This will be a bit less of a review video and more of a plain, straight up recommendation. However, I did want to talk a little bit about Coco. Coco is the latest film from premier animation studio Pixar, and it's pretty wonderful, to be honest. The main premise of the film revolves around Miguel, a young Mexican boy born into a large family of shoemakers. Miguel aspires to be a musician, like his hero, famous songwriter Ernesto de la Cruz. However, a major roadblock lies in his way. His family shun music and have banned it from the household after an incident involving Miguel's great-grandfather. This initial premise is more than interesting enough to carry a film by itself. However, similar to one of Pixar's previous works, Inside Out, Coco approaches an already promising story with a unique slant, this time involving Miguel becoming trapped in the afterlife during the famous Mexican Day of the Dead festival. From the very vague plot premise I have just given you, it is clear that the themes of family, dreams and death feature heavily throughout. For what is a film targeted at a younger audience, the topic of death can be very difficult to tackle. However, Coco does it rather effortlessly, and there was never a point in the film where I felt children would either find it confusing nor too distressing. That's not to say the film does not get dark. However, as with the best children's media, this is layered into a package that allows the subject matter to be quite heavy without ever taking away from the sense that this is a family-friendly film. As you may have noted from the brief preview of the plot, the themes of family and dreams are intrinsically linked in this film, particularly regarding Miguel, his ancestors, and his music. This interlinking of the themes allows for a more complex message to be portrayed in the film, with a central thread regarding the idea of sacrifice. The execution of these messages is very well done, particularly through the interplay between Miguel and his family. A frequent trope in children's movies is the use of a naive protagonist who often doesn't see the message that is trying to be given to him until the third act. However, Coco does not bow to this, and instead offers an interesting delivery with multiple valid viewpoints. And whilst it does give a definitive end message regarding these themes through the film's resolution, the developed portrayal of these arguments allows you to validate and criticise each to find your own answer within that resolution as well. Of course, in a film about music, I could not get away without talking about the film's score and soundtrack. The score by Michael Giacchino, an established Pixar favourite, breathes life into the world of Coco. Although there aren't any standout themes, the added layer of music mixed with the visuals, which I'll come on to later, creates a depth to the settings, a depth that makes you believe that they exist outside of the film's narrative. The soundtrack with several in-film musical numbers is strong, something I always find important, however not necessarily as much as people think, in a film about music. I will admit that the film's premiere song, Remember Me, ironically enough isn't as memorable as I would like it to be. The song is used in several contexts and really only hits home once. Fortunately enough, that happens to be at its most important moment. It's no Let It Go, however it is more than serviceable for its purpose within the narrative. Not only does Coco excel in the auditory, the visuals in the film are a new level, even for a studio of Pixar's standing. The complex, busy settings and the detailed, multifaceted character aesthetics bloom with an electric colour palette. The highlight of the character animation is unquestionably the titular character. The level of detail within Coco's skin alone deserves praise. However, it is the expressiveness of her very simple movements that truly shines. A special mention must also go out to the animation for Hector as well. The slapstick and practical comedy utilised here hits almost every single time. There is a lot about this film that I like, and I could spend another few minutes talking about that, alongside a few nitpicks that I do have with it. However, I feel that it may be best just to see the film for yourself. Again, no rating system, just a simple recommendation or lack thereof. In this case, however, it is a strong recommendation,